My name is Kelly, for those of you that don't know me. A year ago today, I was presenting on the paradigm of fat loss. Here. Of fat loss. I was wearing gym clothes. I was freakishly strong. I was freakishly scared. And I was freakishly empty. I was so empty. Oh, ladies, hello. Okay, there we go. I was so empty, Matt, I'm sorry, I'm gonna screw this up a little bit. I was so empty that I couldn't truly love myself, my daughter, my husband, my mother, the wonderful women that I had invited into my life to support. I could love them as much as I could love myself. So wherever I saw flaws within myself, I saw them in other women. I saw them in men. I saw them in my mother. I saw them in my daughter. My daughter, by the way, is 18 months old. So it's pretty amazing to think that that emptiness, not out of cruelty, was I judging or placing fear upon her, just out of my own experience. So I am 36 years old this year. I am a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a healer, I'm a woman, I'm a warrior, I'm a goddess. It took me a long time to be able to say any of those things without feeling inadequate, without feeling shame, fear. I think we can all agree right now, the world of women is changing. The word woman is changing. The ideas that we have around ourselves are thankfully changing. We are starting to really let go of the disease of perfection, the disease of shame, resentment, anger, ugly, fat, lazy, whatever. Oh yeah, fucking ladies, let it out. I sometimes swear and I don't even know I say it until it's like already out and then it's too late to like, I'm like, oh, I just said that and my mother would be like, don't say fuck. And I'm like, sorry mom, it's already out. Like, it's already out. So I won't go too much into my own story because it's available on my website. For those of you that know me, I was born into the perfect family. I have a beautiful mother, and my mother is like this glory of angels. She's amazing, but she has her own shit. Just like her mother had shit. Just like for centuries upon centuries, women have had, throw it away, lock it all in, don't let it out. Don't let the crazy out. Don't let the fun lady out, because like she's fucking terrifying, right? Like nothing more terrifying than a woman at peace with herself. To the men of the world. So sorry, Matt, we love you. And all the men who love us for us, right? Don't let that woman out, because the world doesn't know what to do with her. The world we live in right now loves to compartmentalize. We love to identify. I am European descent. I'm 36 years old. I'm a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a good girl, right? So I was raised as a good girl, and I was a good girl. I did ballet, I did piano, I did all of those beautiful things. I spoke French, I spoke English, I read books, I played, and then I was molested when I was 9 years old. And being the good girl that we are, we don't want to bring shame to our families. Right? We don't know that it's really wrong because no one talked about it. For those of you that are older in the crowd, you didn't talk about it. You just did, right? Because somewhere you knew that if you talked about it, your mother would be heartbroken, your father would be in some kind of fit of rage, or the opposite. No one would do anything, right? And that protection modality that exists or is meant to exist with our families would be gone. That illusion that we are safe and whole and held would be gone if no one did anything. So I didn't do anything. I didn't talk about it. I became quiet. I wished for invisibility as best as I could, but I was super weird, so it was really hard to be invisible when you are like meant to dance in the moon and howl with wolves. It's a challenge to just like close it all off and say like, be quiet. So that changed me. Sex became this thing that I didn't identify with. My body, the physical body, became very separate from my actual body. So I, never had boundaries around my physical safety or my physical body. So for a lot of years, I struggled in this cycle of self-abuse through anorexia, bulimia, and abuse at the hands of men that I would just allow to continue, even though I knew it wasn't right, even though I knew that wasn't how this ought to be for any woman. I just allowed it to continue. And luckily, like we all do, we have this inner goddess, and she lives in this area, right here, this area that we all are so embarrassed about. You know, it's like, oh, my muffin top, oh, my bloated tummy, and like all these like really, quite frankly, unkind words that we just like, right? And we carry it and we accept it and we read magazines about it and we watch shows about it and we like watch The Biggest Loser and we like watch all these things. And it's not from a place of judgment and it's not a place from hatred. It's just an observation and it's a truth for me. So I allowed that all to happen, but there was this little goddess spark, and you all have it. She just might be turned right down. She might be turned right down for whatever reason. Circumstance, necessity, right? Lack of awareness, busy, perfection, all of those words. There was enough still left that one day after my 26th birthday, after 10 years of this exceptional cycle of trauma, an exceptional cycle of abuse, physical, sexual, mental, emotional, she was just like, get up and go. Get up and go. I was living in Edmonton, Alberta at the time. I packed a bag with a few things. I had $350 in my pocket. I'd been estranged from my parents for almost 10 years. Not entirely estranged, but little divots. Like, here's the life I want you to see. Everything's fine. I'm going to school. I'm happy. Look at how perfect my life is. Look at how beautiful I am. Look at my jewels. Look at my car. Look at the clothes I'm wearing. Look at the neighborhood I live in. Of course I'm okay. And my parents, being the lovely humans that they are, want to believe the best in all of us, right? Packed my stuff and I drove through the night, through the Rockies, and I wound up on my parents' doorstep at about 5:46 in the morning on a Monday with a nasty bruise all down the side of my face, a chunk of hair missing out of my head, and I said, I just need to be here. And of course, being parents, they're A, appalled, B, heartbroken, and then the self-blame comes in. Right? And I said, this isn't what this is about. I just need to be here. So I had this lovely, glorious home to live in with my family. I'd started counseling. I did this epic healing. And I realized that I needed to serve women in a way that I could relate to. I'd always been really active. I grew up dancing, so physical movement was very natural to me. So I was like, I like the gym. And I also, at that point in time, really liked being skinny. That was like a thing that I held on to for dear life. And I was like, I can do two things here. I can be really skinny, also very tired, by the way. If anyone has ever been on a very strict diet, you are exceptionally tired and fucking grumpy as shit, okay? Yes, and you're so tired of weighing out almonds. Like, you know, you're like, I can have 20 almonds. And you're like, 1, 2, 3, and, you know, you divide it over however many hours that you can manage to stay awake. Yeah, and you just gulp them down and then you're like not satisfied at all. And that's it. So I went on, I did my certification in personal training. I met who is now my ex-husband. Went on to Fort McMurray, went on and did all these things. Still really not quite sure of what my role is in the world, other than personal trainer, perfect Kelly, with this smile all the time. How are you? I'm so good. How are you? Great. Let's celebrate you. I don't want to talk about me at all. So we're gonna like bring the conversation to you. What's going on in your life? Oh, I would love to help you with that. And I loved working as a personal trainer at that time. I loved helping women feel confident in their movement and their strength. But I kept looping around myself on my own body. You know, I would be so happy. I never looked at a client's body and thought like, oh no, like no. I was just like, yes, here you are in all yourself. You're so glorious. And like, look at all the cool things you're doing now. And like, I'm sorry that I just asked you to weigh out chicken. Like, this kind of dance back and forth. But then when it came to my own body, I was still so terrified of it because I had done the mental work. I had done a lot of work through counseling, and my counselor like honestly is incredible. And that part was so incredible, but there was still this unhealed bit. There was still this bit that lived in shame, that lived in fear of being seen, that lived in fear of being heard. And so I would train these women, and it was so wonderful, but I started to see a pattern in them. You know, they would come and they would start and they would feel so good. And I'd be like, okay, yes, we're past the number on the scale. We're moving beyond the number on the scale. And then all of a sudden, like 4 days later, this lovely woman would come back into me and she would be like, well, I haven't lost any weight. And I'd be like, but you feel so good. And then I realized that they were just mirroring me. They were just a mirror of me. I would feel so good. I would be like on this high and I'd be like, I'm doing it, like I'm loving myself. And then something would happen and I'd be like, my God, I have a bit of cellulite on my bum, or like, what is this thing? Or like, what is this thing? You know, and I've done it all, really. Breast implants in, breast implants out, more Botox in my forehead at one point in time that I looked like this. And this is not from a place of judgment. It's just from a place of sharing that disease of perfection and the fear of being imperfect in this physical form is a real thing for people. It is a real struggle. And not from a place of hate, but from a place of love. There's a lot of people out there ready to sell that to you, right? Like, that aging somehow in this culture has become very faux pas. How dare you get old? Perhaps you should just die. Yeah. Like, because but that's like, those are your two options. You're either getting older or you are not at all. You're not at all, right? And so fast forward, I got divorced, I exploded, and I went to Thailand. It was pre-planned. I didn't realize that I was going as a single woman. I thought I was going as a married woman. But my husband at the time gave me a safe place to heal, to nurture my career, and to give me a platform to grow. And then his job was done. He couldn't provide that any longer for himself or for me. So I left and I went off to Thailand. And I drowned myself in Muay Thai. I drowned myself in Thai kickboxing, and I just got it all out. Sometimes in healing, we need to remember that although we have this glorious goddess, we also have this warrior. And this warrior needs to be honored in the same way that your goddess needs to be honored. They both need to be able to walk beside you on your journey and pick up the slack where you need it most. But guess what? They won't come unless we nurture it. It's like a house plant, right? If you have it, cool, it's probably gonna do okay for about 10 days. And then in the climate we live in of like desert, if we don't water it and nurture it, it's going to die off. So I lived in Thailand, I drowned myself in Muay Thai. I went an entire year and a half without wearing makeup. I got my breast implants removed. I fell back in love with my warrior. My goddess was still like a little bit on the back burner, but this physical warrior that I met gave me hope that I could also develop something over here. Fast forward, I fell in love with my husband now, and he is a very spiritual being. He's a very strong Buddhist, so he brings a ton of grounding into this somewhat flighty altar life that I seem to sometimes get into. So we arrived back in Canada and we opened a monster gym because I thought that was my story. I thought that was my path, and it was at that time. I was fortified, I was like a warrior, sword, shield, so completely, and there we were doing it. And the more I saw people, and I was like, oh my goodness, so happy to see you, so happy to see you, so happy to see you. And people would come in and they're full of hopes and dreams of having good health and a six-pack and a booty and all these things that we think are super important. And don't get me wrong, physical health is very important, still part of my paradigm. And then you would see them after 3 weeks, and then you would see them after a month, and then you wouldn't see them ever again. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, I just need to be here more. I just need to be here more so that I can speak to all 847 people that currently pay a membership at this gym. And that's what I did. I worked for 16 hours a day.
You were there for them.
I was there for them. But I wasn't. I was still there for myself. I was trying to validate my existence. I was still apologizing for being a woman who wanted to do more. In a society that is giving us very mixed messaging about stand in your power, but don't do too much power. Not too much power, just a little bit of power. Enough power that you kind of feel better about yourself. Enough power that you can still cook turkeys and give blowjobs and get dinner on the table and serve others.
Have your power, but don't let it get in the way of the other people.
Yes, and also have your power, but make sure you're only eating green smoothies for 17 days, right? You know, we get these very mixed messages of how we are supposed to be. So, got pregnant, had a daughter, amazing. Had postpartum depression, also amazing. Blew me wide open, forced me to say, what the fuck am I doing? And I did. It was a year ago today. I was standing here, much like this, but in a place of such fear, in a place of such scarcity, in a place of such emptiness, that it was like words were coming out of my mouth and they were just like floating away. And I could feel that. And I could feel myself changing, and I could feel this energy spinning inside of me, and I had no idea what it was. So I completely freaked out, obviously. Completely freaked out, and I didn't know what to do. I had no idea where to go. And as the universe works, and as you start to ask, and that's all I did. I was sitting on the bathroom floor in granny panties, because, you know, after you have a baby, granny panties are your life. And some kind of nursing bra with, like, you know, sling. And I was just bawling my effing eyes out for no reason. You know, just because the universe had given me this immense gift of being a mother, and I was terrified of screwing it up, because I now had this incredible being to love and care for, and I couldn't even love and care for myself. And I was just spiraling out of control, and I was laying on the bathroom floor, and I was just like, shit, what am I supposed to do? And then, like, dead silence, and I was like, okay, not what I was looking for. Like, that was not the grandeur that I was hoping for. No, like, nothing gave me the answer, except that it did. I started to really think about my body and how I had treated it. And I started to apologize to my body. I started to say, and for the first time in a long time, I actually touched my body with love and reverence. With this, like, intent of just, if I can just hold you in the way that I was looking for other people to hold me, in the way that I was looking for perfection to guide me and comfort me and cradle me and love me, the way that I needed my father to stand up for me, the way that I needed those men to leave me alone, the way I needed to stand on my own. And I did, and I just did. Nursing bra and all, and big incision across my gut, and weird panties that, like, who knows who makes those, but, like, good job. And stretch marks, and the bumpy lumpies, and the veins, and the hair that you missed, and, like, your wild bikini line, because, like, no one is getting involved in that during pregnancy, nor after, thank you very much. And I just was like, I just said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And as I started to do that, I felt at ease, and everything slowed down. And I got up off the bathroom floor, looked in the mirror, and for the first time I was like, shit, you're a fucking goddess. You created all of this. All of it, and not you alone. All the magnificent women that have walked before me, all the incredible women that will walk after me are responsible for this. And I just thought, okay, now what? Fast forward, yoga teacher training blew me wide open. Reiki level 1 and 2 blew me wide open. It was like once I just allowed myself to be at peace with myself. And I know I'm making that sound easy. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's a simple act of honor, reverence, worship, but it's not easy. I don't want you to be confused with the two. This is messy, messy work, but it is so exhilarating. So fast forward a little bit more, and I'm here, and I'm saying all these things to all these women, and all they're looking for is peace. all they're looking for is joy. All they're looking for is wholeness and healedness. All they're looking for is connectivity in a body and a soul that is turned down, that is turned onto mute, and is at the verge of possible extinction if they do not act now. And this is what we have. We have now. You know, we made the joke earlier about like anti-aging, and if you're not aging, you're dying, but in actuality, it is so true. If we do not start honoring this like skin suit, because that's all it is, right? That's all it is. Like all of you exists outside of this too. It exists in the birds, in the trees, in the water, in the mountains, in the heavens, in the oceans, in the streams. And if nothing else comes from awakening your goddess and allowing her to stand up and allowing her to breathe outside of the corset of perfection, you create magic. You remember magic. Does anyone, most people have children? Does anyone have children or have time with children, right? And you watch them and they're just magical. Everything is magical to them. Everything. It's magical to us too, we just forgot, right? We've got our divine masculine side, which is like our right side of our brains, right side of these bodies, right side of our being. This is the tactical do-all side. How many people feel like they do too much here? Yeah, right?
Every woman would say.
Because we're just doing it all, because we're told that. You can do it all. It's like, yeah, I can, but shit, I'm tired. Like, you know, like, I don't want to do it all. I don't want to protect the fortress and nurture the children and like fucking create magic. Like, I just want to create magic and nurture the children. Like, can't you protect the fortress? Masculine energy, like, fucking get it done.
Oh, don't, you gotta paint that.
Yeah, so this is on like overdrive right now. Most of us are busy, right? I loved it. I'm so busy. How are you? I'm so busy. And people would be like, oh my God, you're so amazing, you're so busy. And we like would applaud it and we reward it. It's like, God, you have 10 jobs and 18 kids? Shit, you're doing it. You are doing it. And they're like, I'm fucking freaking out, right? Like anti-anxiety, like tapping all over the place, which is like also, by the way, a great tool. But you know, and then they get home and they're like, God, I can't sleep, I can't have sex, I can't eat food, like I don't know what I'm doing, I'm freaking out. It's because we're so busy, right?
Like it's like this thing, if you're like that, you're amazing and you're successful.
But we in our Western culture really idolize that.
Yeah, it's like you are a success.
Yeah, when I went to Thailand, I was like, it was like painful at first how slow everything was. I was like, can you just please do more stuff? And then my husband, they would drive, you know, when we first met, my husband and I couldn't speak the same language when we first met, so that was a bit wild. But I was like, why don't you just do more stuff? And he looked at me, he's like, why would I? And I was like, I don't actually have an answer. I will get back to you on that. I don't know the answers to that. I will get back to you on that. And then as I actually allowed myself to stop being such a vortex of stuff, I was like, oh my goodness, look at all the time I have to actually take care of myself. Now what? So then I had to nurture that. So I had to really, get over the idea that goddess is a physical look. I know a lot of women, when I speak to them and I say the word goddess, they immediately envision like the fucking Victoria's Secret runway. And no anger, like no hatred or anything to that. Like that is those women are trapped in an industry that a lot of us continue to support unknowingly, right? And that's not from judgment, that's just from my own awareness, having to make a decision like, you know what, I'm just not gonna buy underwear from this particular company. Like, I'm not gonna buy into that. I'm not gonna sit down on my couch of sacred space and watch women be paraded up and down a runway. Like, I just made that choice. And no judgment, that's where they are, this is where I am. And so women have this hard idea imagining this like greatness that you are. So I just want all of you to close your eyes right now. I would just invite you to uncross your legs if your legs are crossed, if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, totally cool. You're just gonna be looking at me with my eyes closed, so it might be a bit weird for you. But, you know, I just want you to do a scan, and I want you to choose a color that really resonates with you. So I use the color gold. That's a really strong color for me, but perhaps for you it's purple, perhaps for you it's red or white. And I want you to imagine this light starting at your toes, and it's gonna move all the way up through your calves, around your knees. As it's moving, it's infusing all of your cells with love, and it's starting to remove some old narratives that you may be holding on to around your physical body, around feelings of worth, feelings of pain, feelings of trauma, shame, stagnant energy. Stagnant isn't always bad, it just needs to get moving. And I want you to bring that energy up around your knees. And I want you to feel soothed there. If you have any knee pain or you're having some inflammation, I want you to imagine this light moving through that inflammation and dissipating it out into Mother Earth, down into Mother Earth so that she can turn it into something glorious and create from it. Now it's gonna move up your thighs. Now I'm gonna invite you, if you feel called and if you feel comfortable, to put your hand on your thighs, and I want you to move your hands all over your thighs, and I just want you to say, I'm sorry. You can say it out loud, you can say it inside. I want you to take a big cleansing breath, and I want you to blow all of that apology out. Now I want you to slap your hands on your thighs, and I want you to repeat after me. I am divine. I am forgiven. I rise as I rise. Now you're going to bring those hands up to that oh so glorious yet somehow offensive abdomen, and you're just going to say, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love all the shape of you. I love the size of you, I love the feel of you, I love the contour, I love the comfort that you provide. I love the creatrix that you are. And you just are going to place both hands, and you're going to feel that light go all the way through you, encircle all of that space within, back out of you, down to Mother Earth, all the way up your spine. And you're going to say, Goddess, please rise. Hands up to your breasts. Oh yes, ladies, it's getting intimate. And you're just gonna say, thanks. Thanks, like shit, thanks. Like, you have a lot of practical use and you're fun. So that's all you have to say. All right, coming up to that beautiful heart. And you're just gonna hold sacred space here. And I want you to envision that beautiful emptiness being filled with that light. Notice any resistance, acknowledge it, don't sweep it under the rug. The rug is not nearly big enough for all of that. Inhale into that beautiful space, exhale it out. Say, I love you. I honor you. I cherish you and I worship you. I allow you to lead, and I promise to follow. Beautiful, ladies. Coming up, placing both hands on the side of your face. Repeating after me. I am safe and healed. I am whole and worthy. I am a sacred child of the universe. Now we're going to open our eyes. And I am a goddess. And then hands are going to come all the way up. Big inhale. As you exhale, hands coming to heart center. For those of you that perhaps have a strong religious background, if this doesn't feel natural, you can simply do this. If this feels not quite right, you can also do this. You can hold here, wherever. And you're just going to thank yourself. You're going to thank yourself for this time that you have come into this space in these lives that we lead. You're going to thank yourself for allowing emotions and thoughts to come without sweeping it under the rug. The rug will not hold it forever. You cannot continue to purchase rugs without creating debt for yourself. Fact of life. So from here, ladies, you're gonna bring your hands down and you're just gonna like shake all of that out. And then you're just gonna stomp your feet. You can sit, you can stand. So any point in time, if you feel like you have lost the connection to Mother Earth, who is the ultimate mother, who is the ultimate creator, she will continue to thrive regardless of what shit we throw at her. She doesn't like it. I think that we can all agree upon that right now, but she will thrive. She will figure it out. She will find a way to continue going. She's not gonna just lay over and be like, cool, take it all from me. She is showing us in her own way. I invite you to do the same thing. I invite you to recognize that she is here to support you from the moment that you open your eyes in the morning to the moment that you lay down into a blissful sleep at night. As soon as your feet hit the ground in the morning, as soon as your being is present in the morning, all you have to do is ask her for support. Our guides, our goddesses, our warriors, our ancestral line, our animal spirits, our totem spirits, our power animals are not going to show up unannounced. They are very respectful. They're lovely neighbors and friends. So they are going to respect you and where you're at. They're not just going to come knocking on your door and invite themselves in and make coffee and shave their legs in your bathtub. You know who I'm talking about, right? They have to be asked in. You might feel like a crazy person, but I bet you anything, someone somewhere is looking down upon you saying, why are you doing all of this? Why don't you just slow down and ask for help? I'm waiting for you. I'm just waiting for you. Just ask me, pick me, pick me. You know, they're all dancing in the sidelines being like, shit, I got the answer. You just have to ask me, right? And when we do, when we accept that we are equally powerful and equally vulnerable in measure, and we allow that vulnerability to come, that's when we are in right relationship with the universe. When you're in right relationship, you are on your path. You don't even need to know what's ahead because that right relationship feels so good. How do we honor that right relationship? We start by asking for help. We start by acknowledging the fact that we are in fact not meant to do it all, nor are we capable of doing it all. And I don't mean that as an insult. Some of you might be like, but I'm doing it all and I'm okay. The sign that a healing is happening, a sign that your goddess is starting to rise, is your ability to sit in silence. Your ability to sit in silence and allow the thoughts to be, right? Allow them to be there. Don't dispel them. Don't label them good or bad, negative or joyful. Allow them to be whatever they are. And if something is unpleasant, send that loving light there and keep sending it. Keep sending it, keep sending it until you can grab onto that thing. Shame, anger, bitterness, resentment, jealousy, envy, spite, sadness, loneliness, despair. Sit with it, let it be, right? The more that we don't acknowledge those things, the more we say to the universe, this thing is not worthy of me, which in turn is saying, I am not worthy of myself. All of those things are part of your story. All of those things are what created you in this moment, you in this time, filled up, filled down, turned on, turned off. None of those are bad. None of those are irreversible, right? We've all had moments in our lives where it's just like, I have no idea how I'm going to get through today. I have no idea why I am here. I have no idea how to live out the rest of this life in a state that doesn't make me feel like crying and drinking a bottle of wine and drowning myself in misery while having sex with strangers who don't give a shit about me, that I don't give a shit about them, drowning myself in retail therapy, drowning myself in food, starving myself, whatever it is. We have all been there. All of us. The sooner that we say, shit, you know what? That's cool. It happened. I'm here now. I am here now. You all made a choice to be here today. A, I'm funny. B, I have great shoes. So that might be it. No, I'm just joking. But in all actuality, this is your first act of bravery. You might not think it. You might just be like, well, I was here. I was at the wellness festival. Like, whatever. I bought a ticket. Like, you made a choice within you to act bravely. And sometimes bravery is getting out of bed in the morning and possibly brushing your teeth. Perhaps not. It could just be getting out of the bed, right? And then it's like that next step out. You like step into the world and you're like, okay, okay, I'm going grocery shopping. I'm going grocery shopping. I'm going grocery shopping, stamping my feet, honoring my goddess, grocery shopping, grocery shopping, grocery shopping, driving in my car, freaking out, driving in my car, freaking out, tapping out, tapping out, tapping out, tapping out, right? And then that act of bravery becomes silence. It's like, okay, checking my time here, ladies, thank you. Silence. Okay, how long can I sit in this silence for before I like fucking go batshit crazy? Okay, 34 seconds. Nice work. Okay. Yes, real story. Okay, 34 seconds. Okay, fucking one up from yesterday. And you just go and you go and you allow and you allow. And some days you are flying high. Your goddess is like, her wings are up. She's like wearing this, she's got, you know, like her, she is like here. She's like rattling you through and you're like, I'm fucking grocery shopping. Taking on the world, raising my children, doing my thing. And then other days you're like, oh God, like I'm just gonna, oh, okay. Right? But that's part of it. We have centuries before us of women who were scared and for very good reasons. Right? Karma might be a new concept to you. Energy might be a new concept to you. But science says energy cannot be created nor can it be destroyed. So it's irresponsible of us to feel like we don't carry that with us. And it almost dishonors the women who had to live in fear, who were being persecuted, who were being tried for being women, right? Tighten up that corset, lock up your vagina, like fucking go get married, bust out some kids. Don't be emotional, because your husband might throw you into an asylum. I was speaking to a woman whose mother, they're from Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is possibly one of the last provinces to actually have mental institutions. 1979, her mother was institutionalized for postpartum depression. This is in this time, right? So like those moments of fear that you have of expressing yourself, that is like legit. Like you're not weak. You just have this like story. And your mother is out of love, and I say that in all reverence. There is no such thing as a bad mother. There is a disconnected mother. There is a mother who has experienced trauma. There is a mother who has felt shame, and she may have been not able to connect with you because she couldn't connect to self. So it's not, she did not just like give birth to you and be like, nope, not worthy. What she was really saying was, nope, not worthy, okay? We all have narratives. We all have mothers that did the best that they could with the tools that they have. We are all doing the best that we can with the tools that we have. But imagine if you took the tools that you had and you asked for help. You were like, dear goddess, dear warrior, like I need you. I need you to help me. I need you to help me shed perfection. I need you to allow me to live outside of shame. I need you to help me take off the corset. I need you to help me unbind my feet. I need you to take me down from this stake. I need you to quench these flames. I need you to give me permission to be safe. I need you to envelop me in love and light, protection and grounding, right? Because we very much live in this world here. And there are some things that are very scary about this world. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to foo-foo you like, oh, I'm a fucking angel and nothing affects me and like, that guy doesn't piss me off and whatever. Like, that's not the case. I am very much a physical body here and now, right? So I very much live here. I still have triggers. I still have sensitivities. I don't deal with a lot of men, truthfully. I don't engage with a lot of men because that's my own story that I'm still working through, right? And right now, in this wonderful time that it is time to be a woman, to be a warrior and a goddess, so we can support our sisters in the hashtag Me Too, so we can let women tell their stories without us having any preconceived notion about her background, her race, her series of events, her alcohol consumption, her skirt, her lack of skirt, whatever. As we support our sisters as they rise, it allows us to rise. As we own our stories, it allows other women to own their stories. It also allows men to share their stories. It allows men to support us. We don't have to do it all. And men, women, we are here together to coexist. The more powerful we become, the more we give permission to others to become powerful. It is not just women that are disempowered in the moment. It's also the men in our lives that are disempowered. Every one of us is seeking wholeness and peace. We might look at it in a diet. We might try and find it at a scale. We might find it in fasting cardio momentarily until we all decide that we need more than 20 almonds in a day. But what we're all looking for is happiness and joy. And there is nobody else that is worthy of that responsibility other than you. And I say worthy, not able. There's people that are able to provide happiness to us in moments, but they don't have the worthiness to hold that weight all the time, to hold that space as if they have nothing else of their own to work through, right? But we do it. We give this sacred love and this sacred joy to everyone else but ourselves. And we ask, like, can you hold my happiness for me? And then when I need it, can you just find me and give it back to me? And I just need you to know when I need that because I'm not going to ask for it back.
Yeah.
Right?
Read my mind.
Yeah. Can you please read my mind?
Yeah.
Why don't you know what I need?
Really angry.
But as I've learned through all of this is I had no idea what I needed. I had no idea. I saw it in magazines. Okay, I need to be this tall and I need to be this thin and I need this kind of car and maybe I need this other thing and I need this husband to dote on me and I need, flowers every Tuesday and a Brazilian wax every 6 weeks, and that was happiness. But then it wasn't. So I had to take ownership of myself again. And the first step to that was acknowledging all of my story, all of it. The unpleasant parts, the parts that I didn't want to think about, the plants that I had scooped under the rug and the rug was exploding and it was moldy and gross. Those are the parts that I had to go through first. We see memes all over social media and it's don't look back, you're not going that way. So I was like, okay, barreling forward. And then there was all this stuff, when people get married and there's the cans and they're dingling. That was my whole past, just following me around. But I was like, guys, you're getting heavy. Dissipate already. I can only lift so much weight and I'm getting tired and I had a C-section, so my lower back hurts. But I had to turn around and look back. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with looking back at all those bits, the magical bits, the less than magical bits, the terrifying shit that will throw you into a tailspin. It will throw you into a tailspin and you will spin until you acknowledge it, until you send that fucking thing so much love, love from your vagina to the fucking crown, love. That's right, we all have vaginas, get cool with it. And we make that connection so fierce and so strong without apology. That is when your goddess will rise. So if she's on a low simmer right now, cool, crank her up. Stop apologizing for crossing the street. Stop apologizing for fucking being here. You are meant to take up this much space. And it's not because you are trying to exert power. It is not because you are trying to make others small. You are trying to blend energy bodies with the other beings here. And if we do it from here, we're not going to affect change very well. We're not going to blend together as women, as humans, as animals, as spirits, if we're doing it from this place of constriction. So, ladies, I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to look at one thing. It can be a happy thing, it can be a less than happy thing. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, totally cool. Totally, totally cool. I just want you to focus on one thing. And all I want you to do is send love to that one thing, like it is your full-time job, because it is your full-time job while you are here right now. When you get into your car, you are going to allow that one thing to drive around with you. You're going to send it love until you're so sick of sending it love that you feel a bit nauseous. And then you're going to continue sending that thing love. And ladies, I'm just going to play a piece for you that I particularly love. Feel free to get up and dance around. If you would like a wand, if you need a fucking hug, I give excellent hugs, facts of life. And people, give good hugs. Do give good hugs if you are able to. People need hugs, but yeah. Like if you need to dance, I am an excellent dancer. Yes, ladies. So I just want to thank you all for being here. And I just want to let you know too that I really simplified my journey down, right? We have an hour together. During all of this, there was a lot of like, I'm on fire, and then I'm like, I'm back on the ground, like in my, like, but not the pregnancy underwear, because like eventually those are not appropriate anymore. And they don't make you feel very lush. But probably in the last, where am I at in time here? Maybe 6 months, maybe 4 months. When I started really seeing, oh, hello, sorry, let's just, yeah, yeah, okay, tone that down a bit for now. When I really started recognizing that, and this is gonna sound super cheesy because I feel like a L'Oreal commercial, like your beauty is within, but actually, like this, yeah, do we want it to like function as best as we're able? Do we want to care for it in the best of our abilities with the tools that we have, given the constraints of where we live? Yeah, we do. Like I still want to be able to dance. I still want to like do things. Do I feel beautiful? Yep. I feel beautiful if I'm wearing this. I feel beautiful if I have like coconut oil in my hair, if I have bags under my eyes because I've been bawling my eyes out, if I had salty food and I'm like puffy, I still feel beautiful. The body that I have now, and just to give you an idea, like actually I would have been offended by this body at one point in time. It sounds a bit harsh and it's not coming from a place of pain, but thank you. But before I would have been like, thank you. And then I would have gone home and been like, is this old looking? Do I look beyond 12 years old right now? Could I just, how about if I did this? What happens if I did this? How can I get rid of this ever so offensive piece of skin right here? Like that would have been me after taking a compliment. It would have been this fake, like, thank you so much. And then being at home being like, I wonder how can I get this to do whatever? Like, what do I fucking need to do to feel good? How many more squats do I need to hammer myself into until I feel enlightened? The answer is 0. That's how many, 0 squats. But when I started really seeing the magic in the world, like true witchy woo-woo, wonderful magic, and as soon as I started to be able to help women on an energetic level and started to move some of my own blocks with my own healing, with my own healers, seeking that out, that's when I was like, shit, you are fucking perfect. Everything you're doing is so perfect. You are doing such a good job. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. And like, yeah, my kitchen is a disaster. And like, yeah, sometimes I don't wash my hair for like 4 days in a row. And like, yeah, you know what? Some days shit is not going according to any plan. And then I was just like, well, whatever. Well, whatever. What's the worst that's gonna happen, right? Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Someone's not gonna like me, okay. Someone's not gonna think my house is perfect, okay. Then you're not my people, right? Then you're not my goddess friend, you're not my soul sister. Like, I still love you, and I get it. I still love you. If you like can't let people over until your house is like in perfection land, cool. Call me what's an imperfection land. I'm still coming over and I'm gonna shave my legs in your bathtub. No, I'm just joking. But I wanted to give you a couple of things that are tangible that you can do out of here that I have incorporated as ceremony. We have 3 ceremonies in our lives as women. We are born. Ah. Maybe we get married. Ah. Then we die. Ah. So, ceremony number 1, sensual self-massage. Get in there. Get in there, get in there, get in there. Do it. Stop touching your body with disgust. Stop it. Stop it right now. Touch it, love it, get in there, rub it, do all kinds of things, sing while you're doing it, light candles, make it sexy, whatever. It can take like 45 seconds out of your life. Second thing I do, I'm the first person up in the morning in my house. I'm the last person to bed. I smudge the shit out of my house. I smudge it like it is the most fucking sacred thing I can do for myself and my family, and I do it every single day. So my ritual once a week is a full smudge. So I get in there with sage, light it, let it smoke, get into all the nooks and crannies. I put music on, I do whatever I want. Every single night, mini smudge. I light it, I smudge my altar. Create a space that's just your own. It can be this big. Anything that is sacred and beautiful to you that you hold dear, create it. It can be this big. It can have whatever you want on it, in it, around it. I smudge my altar. I smudge my plants. I smudge my TV. I smudge briefly in my kitchen. I waft smudge over top of my sleeping daughter. I smudge into my bathroom. I smudge my mirror. I smudge my mirror because sometimes when we look at ourselves, we see an old narrative. We see someone else's idea of us. I smudge my mirror. I smudge myself last. I smudge my bottom of my feet. I just say like, yeah, you did it. You did it today. And I go to bed. And then I'm the first person up in the morning so I can set the tone of energy in my home, in my space. Okay, do not underestimate candles, smoke. One more thing that you are all invited to do as the day winds down, as we get ready to launch back into life, make notes to yourself. Write a letter to yourself. An invitation of how to move forward. Invite your goddess into your life. Dear goddess, I honor and recognize you. I'm ready for you to come and be a part of my day. I'm ready for you to allow me to stand in my power, in all my glory, without shame, without apologizing, without anything other than reverence and love. Write down anything icky, anything, bitch, cunt, slut, whore, bad, good, whatever. Write it down. Fucking burn it.
Cunt is not a bad word.
Oh, yes.
It means goddess. It's a goddess.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the throwing of it, right? The malice behind it, right? The malice is what we're trying to burn off. Ladies, as you sit here, as you digest this entire weekend and as you move forward into this life, please remember that you are worthy, you are strong, and that you are sacred. Many blessings to all of you. If you haven't come by and seen me, I would love to just give you a hug if you have a chance. I'm in the main marketplace. If you have any questions, my contact information is all on my website. It's kellyrattanee.com. And I do have a special offer for all of you. So if you are ready for the next sort of ascension in this human form, please stop by my booth and I will just make sure that I have your email address so that I can send you the gift of a guided meditation and a special package that I've put together for those of you that sat here with me today. So ladies, thank you very much. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to eat. I know I just sound like your mother or like your grandmother, Baba, who's like, you are skin and bones. I'm like, why are you looking so tired? But in all actuality, this can be really full on. Energy, work, and healing is like the fasted cardio, but it's way more fun at the end. So ladies, thank you very much. I will jam us out to some jams.